Okay, shalom everybody. It's nice to be back in Montreal. English, yes. First of all, this couldn't happen without all the effort of Isaac Nissim Mechaly, Mamash. All of his efforts to get this moving, and all the other people, I didn't get their names yet, of sponsors and donors for the food, for the place. May they all be blessed in this Likutey Moharan ben Fege, Bezat Hashem. And we have some dedications to mention before we get into our first joke. Okay, dedicated for the Hatzlacha and the good shiduchim for the Dahan family, Bezat Hashem. In memory of my dear uncle, of blessed memory, Igal ben Chana, Tia Nafshal Tzura B'Tzura Chaim, Bezat Hashem. And for the Ilu Nishmat of Ezra ben Shelomo, whose yahrzeit is on the 28th of Kislev, Tia Nafshal B'Tzura Chaim, and in honor of the brit milah of Arié Yehouda ben Yossef Menachem Bellisha, in this Likutey Moharan ben Fege, ish bizoche to grow the Torah, Chokma Maasim Tovim, and to become a Breslev Chassid Amiti, Bezat Hashem. Okay? Also sponsored by Igal, Shalom, and Leah, Manfredi, the nishmat Rachel, Bat Baila, she have Aliyah, a big Aliyah in the Likutey Tzadikim Amitiyim, in honor of their children, Avraham Moshe ben Leah, Rachel Baila, Bat Leah, Gavriel Israel ben Leah, Yonatan Davide ben Leah, Emunah Anetta, Bat Leah, and Yossef Menachem Bellisha. You should be zocheh to raise all your children to be upright, proper, happy, healthy Jews. Hashem. Okay? And sponsored by Reb Chaim Goldberg in memory of his mother, Chana Baila Bat Rachmiel, in memory of Rachmiel ben Avraham and Eliezer ben Rachmiel, that they should have an aliyah of the neshama in the suit of this amazing, awesome, wondrous tzaddik, Rabbi Nachman ben Fege, and they should have, for health, wealth, and success, of Chaim's children, Eliezer, Hertz ben Tamara Gila, and Chana Baila Bat Tamara Gila, and for the continued good health for Chaim's father, 90-year-old Yeshua ben Bashe. This is the tzaddikim amitiyim. Right. So we'd like to start with a good joke, and even if it's not a good joke, if I get you to laugh, yes. Lift the volume a touch. Lift the microphone up, like this. Lift the microphone up. Okay, got it. Okay, how is it now? Okay, thank you. All right. So there was a guy came to the doctor, and he had a pen stuck in his ear. And the doctor said, "What in the world? How long has it been like this?" He said, "For a month." He said, "You come only now? Why come only now?" He said, "Because now I need my pen." Corny.
I didn't get the answer. Well, why did you come now?
Oh, come on. He got it stuck in there. He said, "And why only come now?" So he said, "Because only now I need my pen. After a month." I really ahabad. Bezat Hashem. All right. I'm going to just give you a layout of what we're going to do tonight, Bezat Hashem. I'm going to speak about an introductory topic for about 10-20 minutes, and then the main topic, which might be another 10 minutes, and then we have a workshop, which has never been done, I think, in the history of the Breslev movement, something very special. And the goal of the talking tonight is to get to this workshop, Ezra Hashem. So please hang on until we get to that final workshop, Ezra Hashem. So, we'd like to go into the idea of the Chanukah candles, and this whole thing that we always light, Mosif veholech. Every day we add a candle, and we go back to lighting. We start again from the beginning, and we go always adding, and go back and add, back and add, back and add, okay? What's this whole idea? Yeah, he told me not to do it. All right. So, Rabbi Nachman, he explains the way a person grows in life. The way growth takes place in Jewish standards is that you advance, and then you get a setback. You need a pushback in life. Nothing works straight. You need to have something push you back. You're onto something good, and you have aspiration and inspiration, and wow, things are just amazing, and then boom, they pulled the carpet from under your feet. He says, this is how life is. This is how things must be. This is what's going to build you more than anything else in your life, is dafka specifically, that you're being pushed back. It comes in many formats, many ways. Whether it's in the spiritual domain, whether it's the parnasa, health, family, children, everything, okay? The way it works is you advance and you're pushed back. And it has to be like that. He explains that when you have an advance, when you're growing, when you have light, it's basically Hashem's light shining into you. The word in Hebrew for light is or, Aleph, Vav, Resh. Take a look at Aleph, Vav, Resh. Aleph is 1, Vav is 6, that's 7. Resh, 200. 207, which is exact gematria, numerical value of Ein Sof. Ein Sof is or. Meaning what? What does that mean on a practical level? Whenever you have an amazing, should I bring the analogy? You remember Top Gun, the movie Top Gun? You remember from then? At the end, it's everyone's seeing that movie at the end when they're playing the music, down, and you feel so proud, like, wow. Those times in life, it's like light, okay? Lahavdil. And that happens to everybody. You have an up. If it's like a graduation from a university thing, or it's marriage, the wedding night, or it's a bar mitzvah, it's something amazing that happened in life, is a big light, okay? But to go the next stage, you must experience what's called in the Kabbalah a betisha. You must get smacked. You have to get pushed back. Why? Because you are a finite person. You're a physical existence, and Hashem's light is infinite. These are two opposites. A finite existence cannot merge with the infinite and remain finite. You will disintegrate. You will disappear. If Hashem is just giving you light and light and light and goodness in life, you will melt. You need this setback. You need this push. This is hinted to in the amazing Gemara. We had this week the Hilula, the yahrzeit of the Maggid of Mizrich. So something in his name, Zechutei Aleinu. He explains the Gemara in Shabbat, the famous Gemara that everybody knows, of the convert who came to convert to Shammai while standing on one foot. He said, teach me the whole Torah while standing on one foot. So the Gemara says that Shammai threw at him what's called amat habinyan, a builder's stick. It's a type of stick builders use for the exact measurement of the building. Okay, fine. He threw it in the stick as if to say, get out of here. What? The whole Torah on one foot. And then he went to Hillel and he asked the same question. While standing on one foot, teach me the whole Torah. So Hillel said, very easy. Whatever you wouldn't do to yourself, don't do to others. Rashi says on the spot, in other words, what Rabbi Akiva said, V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha ze klal gadol b'Torah. In other words, love your neighbors yourself. Hillel said, that's the whole Torah, and the rest is commentary on that. So the Maggid HaMizrach asks a few questions. Why does the Gemara have to illustrate while standing on one foot? He can say to Shammai, teach me the whole Torah in one sentence. Why do we also need the illustration that the Gemara says he's standing on one foot? What do you add by illustrating that? Just say the Torah in one phrase, one sentence. Number two, what is this that the Gemara tells us that what type of stick Shammai throws at the convert? What? Shammai was like in the middle of building his sukkah or something, and the convert came to ask him the question, and he throws him the builder stick. Why do I care? Why do I need to know what type of stick it is? Number three, fine and dandy, Hillel's answer, love your neighbors yourself, like the hippies. Oh, it's love and harmony. But don't forget, the Torah is humongous. It's humongous. And there are many rules. Not just love your neighbors yourself, that's one of them. There's many other essential rules that are fundamental to Judaism, okay? Why pick one, like this one? What's going on here? So the Maggid explains like this, that really the convert, he stood on one foot as if to say, I know Judaism is the truth. I know serving Hashem is the truth. I know the Torah is the truth. I know that we have to advance. That's the truth. But I can't stand having setbacks. So before I fall, convert me. I want to convert on condition, no downs, no setbacks in life. Just advance. Okay? Shammai threw to him what's called amat habinyan, this builder stick. And they explain, just like because the world is circular, no building in the world ends perfectly at the millimeter at the right spot. It's always off, or a little to the right, a little to the left, but no building in the world is exactly. It has to be a little bit, or to the right, to the left. When you're measuring with the stick, the building will end not exactly at the spot. So by that, he was indicating to the convert, that's how it is in life. Or to the right, which means chesed, love, bounty, simcha, that Hashem is showing you, or to the left, where there's a constriction, holding back, a setback. That's life. Take it or leave it. I can't convert you if you don't accept the setbacks. So he didn't accept. So he went to Hillel. Let's see what Hillel will have to say. Hillel was able to show the convert why falling back and setbacks is part of Judaism. It's part of being a Jew. It's part of coming close to Hashem. And he explains something phenomenal. Based on the Arizal, what is the whole secret of a convert? And by extension about tshuva. A convert has the neshama of a Jew, right? He's called Ben Sarah, Ben Avraham Avinu. It's just that when he's reincarnated, he has to come from a very, very far place, and from there to come back to Hashem. The same thing about tshuva. He's born in a scenario of a tinok shenishba. Okay, it's not his fault, and his mission in life is to wake up and to come back from there. The question is, what wakes them up? What wakes up a person, if it's a non-Jew to convert, or it's a Jew to wake up? What wakes them up? Okay. So the idea is, Hillel was explaining basically that every Jew has ups and downs, okay? And the ups and downs like a trampoline. Trampoline, if you know, when you jump the first time, so then it pushes you up a momentum based on how much you jumped. But then when you go back up, you go up higher now. But then when you go back to the trampoline, you go now deeper. And then when you go up again higher, you go deeper, okay? That's life. The higher you go, kol hagadol mechavero, whoever's bigger has a bigger Yetzirah. That means, Rabbi Nachman says in lesson 72, the biggest tzaddikim, they have the biggest Yetzirah, okay? You shouldn't be shocked when your stories about rabbis did this and they fell. They have big Yetzirah. The thing about tzaddikim is that they have the capacity to handle it. If we were given for like 1 second the Yetzirah of Baba Sali or the Baal Shem Tov, we would burn in an instant. We wouldn't be able to handle it, okay? They have the strength to do with it. That's their whole thing. They're at a high level and they can handle what they're going through. They have the koach to balance it back, okay? But us little guys, we're not at that level. So these big tzaddikim, let's take a guy Reuven in Bnei Brak who's trying to serve Hashem. He goes up to level 200 and then he goes down minus 200. But then he goes up, let's say plus 400, but he goes minus 500, like the trampoline. And he reaches plus, let's say 6,000 and he goes to minus 6,000. Okay, when he goes down to minus 6,000, he's at low levels. And there are, at that level, sleepy souls, dormant souls. So when this Reuven goes down to minus 6,000, minus 7,000, he actually wakes up the sleepy souls at those levels, at minus 7,000, minus 8,000, because he has potential to go back up. So he carries with him his light when he goes down, he wakes them up, and when he goes back up, he pulls them up with him. So this is what Hillel was telling the convert. Why are you coming to me now? Why didn't you come 10 years ago? Why now? Because there's someone in the world, some Jew in the world is struggling to serve Hashem. He's trying to become a tzaddik, trying to be a good person. He goes up, and he goes down. And he reached your level. He woke you up. And when he went back up, he pulled you with you, which is why you want to come back now. Okay? So this is really v'aftalecha kamocha. Love your neighbor as yourself. Just as he helped you to do this, to come back, so too in your struggles, you'll also help other people to come back. This is the idea that a down is part of the picture. It's to propel you even higher up, Bezrat Hashem. Okay? So with this in mind, when a person faces setbacks, he should think twice. Instead of saying, it's over, I gave Judaism a try, I tried this business, I tried this marriage, I tried. You have no idea what Hashem has in store for you, what amazing things He has in store for you if you just have the patience to wait it out, to daven it out, and to visit Hashem, to see the fruits, the products of holding on and getting to what you have to get to in life, visit Hashem. So this happens though, the force that does this, in the Kabbalah is called the Keter. The Keter, when a person is going up, and now he's reaching higher than his capacity, the Keter is a wall that pushes him back down. With this, we understand the candles of Chanukah. Why are we always going back? According to halacha, you light 1 candle a day, it's enough. But what's called mitzvah mina mehudar, the ideal mitzvah is every day, mosif ve'olech, we add another candle, okay? Why are we doing that? Because this is really our way of adding light. The light of Chanukah is light, divine light, the light of the infinite light. The light of Chanukah, they say, the biggest things about the narrative of Chanukah, what you can achieve from lighting the Chanukah candles, by looking at the Chanukah candles, what you gain from that, okay? But how it's done is back and forward, back and forth. You don't start where you left off yesterday, you now have to go back and light, until you reach number 8, okay? This is the struggle we go through in life. The idea of Chanukah is to give us, because Chanukah enters the darkest months of the year, Tevet, Shvat, where things are just gloomy. People just can't wait for their Florida vacation just to leave the cold of North America, just to go back, right? Everyone, it's so dark, I don't want to be here. And the slush and the mud, and everyone is gloomy. Huh? The slush and the snow, exactly. But it's gloomy, it's sad, whatever. So Chanukah ends Kislev, goes into Tevet, the darkest month, the shortest days of the year are in Tevet. And the idea is to enlighten the light into those darkest moments. And how does it work? That's what Chanukah comes to teach you. That you're always going back and forward until you reach 8. 8 in systematic expression of worldly representation. That's a complicated sentence. 7 is this world. That's why I have 7 days in the week. 8 is considered the world to come. So our goal is to get to the 8th candle of Chanukah to show that we're connecting to get to the light, the real light. Not the light of this world, the light of Olam Haba. Shine that into this world. That's why we have to get to number 8, the 8th day of Chanukah. And that is meant to give us such a strong light that no matter what we're going through, we hold on. Because if you hold on, you will grasp the highest levels possible. He explains more than this, Rabbi Nachman, that when you have a setback, you are building vessels in the darkness to perceive the biggest light. In other words, what you go through in life is going to build you more than anything else. You thought, okay, I just sit down and learn Torah 24/7, just learning, no setbacks. The guy who's struggling to learn and he has ups and downs, he bypasses the guy who's learning in Kollel all day with no setbacks. The guy who's struggling, what he gains from his experience in life of having a setback, of a darkness, is going to enhance him more than anything else. Because that's how it works. The vessel to receive light is specifically pushed back. The trick is not to crash when that happens. Most people, when they have the setback, they say they throw in the they throw in the towel. That's it. I'm finished. C'est fini. C'est tout. Okay. I'm finished. All that. What's needed is to hold on. How do you hold on? So Menachem teaches you have to work on being b'simcha, because only someone who tries to have a happy attitude, a happy perspective, when he gets a pushback, he takes it the right way. What's the right way to take a pushback? When you have a setback, the right way to act is your ratzon comes out. You say to Hashem, all I wanted was to be a good Jew, to be a good person. And now you do this to me, you push me back. What did I do? I had good intentions when I got married, and I had my children, I raised them properly, and now I have all this balagan in my life. But Hashem, you know that I was sincere. You know that I was honest. Who talks like that? Because that's basically the way, that's the gateway to get to where you have to get to in life. Who talks like that? Only someone who's always trying to be positive. Person who's not trying to be b'simcha, when he has a crash, he goes right into depression, right into sadness, right into yeush and futility. Whereas someone who's always trying to start again in life, no matter what happens, and he's trying to get himself up and to be positive and happy, like we say, in Breslov we drink 7-Up. 7-Up is Sheva Yipol Tzadik Vakam. 7 up. I fall 7 times, but I always get up, Bezrat Hashem, right? So only a person who has a positive attitude, he can handle the setbacks. But to be positive, you need a lot to work on being b'simcha, and most of the time, we don't have really what to be happy about. So because of that, you got to fake the simcha. So I have another joke for you guys. Another joke, okay? There was a guy, he was getting fat, and his wife took him to the doctor, and the doctor says, no, cholesterol, diabetes, come on. And the wife says, yeah, come on, no. She says, okay, I promise I'm gonna stop eating cakes and cook. I'm gonna start now my diet. Okay, great. So the wife said, you keeping your word this time? Yeah, I promise. Whatever you cook me, I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna eat that. Okay, don't worry. So he comes home for breakfast. She makes him like the keto food, just the vegetables and some sardines. Okay, and he comes and he says, wow, that's so good. For lunch, she makes also the healthy food. For supper, she sees he's eating and he's not like cheating and everything. Wow. Okay, the next day, wow, he's doing it. A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. She says, you know what? He deserves a cake. So I'm gonna go to the bakery and buy him a cake. So she goes to the bakery, and the bakery knows the family. Hello, Mrs. Smith. Oh, how's it going? She says, I'm here to buy a cake for my husband because I'm celebrating that he kept the diet the whole month. He says, that's fine. He comes every day. You gotta tell jokes, guys. Okay? He says, Rabbi Nachman, the main way to get happy, to stay happy, is you gotta pull jokes from anywhere. Even the stupid dad jokes, whatever you can get, just get into jokes. Even though it's stupid and silly, but the uplifting feeling it brings you, even that ha 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 for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it's enough to push you on the good side and be in a good place with Hashem. Okay? He gives many advices to be happy. Okay? There are 5 basically he gives. One is telling jokes. Number 2 is putting on music. Why music is so important. Baruch Hashem, we had the music tonight, which was just beautiful, guys. Mamash, it lifted me up. I was booging. I was really booging there, Baruch Hashem. Okay, music is so good. Aerobics, dancing, hand clapping. It's very, very positive. Number 3, looking for your good points, even when you don't have any, but you find something to be happy about, to be proud about. Number 4, to give thanks to Hashem, even when there's nothing to be happy about. Like Rabbi Nachman once said. So when Reuven asked Shimon, how's it going? And Shimon says, it's terrible. Terrible, it's so bad. So Hashem says, terrible? Terrible? I'll show you what terrible is. And he makes it worse, chas v'shalom. But when a person, Reuven asks Shimon, how's it going? And he's really having a bad time. He lost his business, someone stole money from him, and he's just, everything's miserable. And his wife screamed at him because of this, and the kids, the principal called him, just everything one after the next is just going nuts. And Shimon says, Baruch Hashem. He's in pain, but he says, Baruch Hashem. So Hashem says, Baruch Hashem. I know it's not Baruch Hashem. I'll make it that it's really Baruch Hashem. So Hoda'ah, giving thanks and appreciation, is so important. When a Jew wakes up in the morning, the very first thing he says is what? Modeh ani. You have to go to the bathroom, your hands are tameh. You shouldn't be allowed to say any word. Yet, the sages, the Torah allows you and obligates you, as soon as you wake up, you have to go to the bathroom. You're talking to God. Modeh ani lefanecha. You're not saying his name. Melech chai v'kayim, the living king. I'm talking to God. My hands are impure. I just woke up. I'm not in such a clean position. And yet, they want to show you how important it is that as soon as you wake up, you have to say thank you. As soon as you wake up, because you have no idea what this day is going to bring to you, what blessings are hidden in the day. That's number 4. And number 5 is when things are really bad, you just look at the future. You look at the end, things are going to work out. There's going to be Mashiach. There's going to be the 3rd temple, resurrection of the dead. We're going to see all of our family, our ancestors, and all the wicked will be destroyed and punished. All the Hitlers, and all the good that I suffered for. Haloch yelech uvacho nose meshech hazara bo yavo berina nose alumota. Those people who suffered to try to do good, the payback will be in the future ultimately. Okay, so he gives these 5 advices to be happy. And it's not by chance when people laugh, what do they say? Ha ha ha. They say the letter hey. People don't pay attention, but when they laugh, they say the letter hey. So going back, the light of Chanukah, every day we say Hallel. Okay, it's a time, even though it's dark and gloomy, because we're getting into darkness, yet I'm saying Hallel, and not regular Hallel, Hallel Shalem, which you don't even say on Pesach. The Ben Ish Chai points out, the Hallel of Chanukah, make sure you say it carefully because it's even higher than the Hallel of Pesach, because the Hallel of Pesach is the Mekutzar. It's a short one, so the Dilug. Yet in Chanukah we say the full Hallel for 8 days to show you that I'm trying to be happy in the darkness. In the darkness, I'm trying to be happy. Okay, that was the class. We have a workshop. Can you hand out the pages, please? Can someone give these out, please? Each one take a page, please. This is now the real deal, okay? Page 1. When you get the page, stay on page 1, please. Page 1. Page 1. Page 1. Okay. We're good? Okay. So everything we spoke about tonight is based on one specific lesson from Rabbi Nachman's book. Rabbi Nachman wrote a book. For those who don't know, I have to explain these details. The name of the book is called the Likutey Moharan, which translates as the collected teachings of Moreinu Harav Rabbi Nachman, our teacher, our master Rabbi Nachman. This book is unique in that anybody who opens it up and with an honest eye learns it will feel that he's talking directly to me. It's something fascinating. You don't see this in the Chumash, the Midrash, the Mishnah, the Talmud, the Zohar, the Kabbalah, any other area of the Torah. Tzaddikim who have special 3D spiritual vision, they see the hints God is telling them through the Parsha of the week, through the Mishnayot, the Gemara, the Kabbalah, that's fine. But this book is so unique that Rabbi Nachman, he lowers himself to you, even Gentiles. They feel he's talking directly to me. What in the world is going on? How does he know what I'm going through? How does he know exactly what I'm thinking and what I feel? And he gives me a comfort that's crazy, like a consolation that someone is on the same page as me. It's a unique book coming from a different world, okay? We went into lesson 24, where these topics that we spoke about, the simcha, the joy, and the running and being pushed back, the setbacks, is two of the main themes in this lesson. Now, Rabbi Nachman had a disciple, Rabbi Natan or Rav Nosson, and this disciple, once he got triggered by Rabbi Nachman and his teachings, he devoted and dedicated his whole life to follow this tzaddik and to spread his teachings as far as possible, because he saw that they contain an antidote for what we're going through today. All the modern day difficulties of anxiety, sadness, depression, trauma, etc., he addresses all of them, and he gives a way of hope to come out, Bezrat Hashem. So now, Rabbi Nachman, he gently indicated to this disciple, Rabbi Natan, to write prayers on the lessons in his book. Likutey Moharan has approximately 300 lessons. Rabbi Natan wrote prayers on the majority of these lessons. So you can imagine when these ideas are represented in prayer format, they touch very powerful chords in the heart. Okay? So we are going to do something which has never been done in at least the 200 years that Breslev, 200 plus years that Breslev has existed. We're going to do an experiment. The experiment is, together, we're going to recite in English, on the first page, page 1, a section from Prayer 24, which deals with the topics we spoke about tonight. We're going to say together, what are you going to expect? You're going to expect energy from each one of us, and when praying with this unified energy, to feel an experience of prayer that you never in your life experienced. Okay? People are used to pray. When they say pray, okay, pray to God, fine. Go to shul, shacharit, mincha, arvi, teilim. Okay, to say a little misha berach, get a bracha from a tzaddik, whatever. But prayer like this that touches upon very sensitive chords, this is something unique that most people in the world never knew existed. So before we do this, if everyone please can participate in this, I want everybody please to close your eyes and to please take a deep breath. And at the count of 3, we're going to read the entire text, past the QR code to get to the bottom of the page. 1, 2, and 3. Work amazing wonders with me. Save me and help me so that my thoughts constantly race to apprehend the infinite light, the light that is beyond even the nefesh, the ruach, and the neshama. Satisfy my soul with clear, radiant flashes of the light of your countenance. One thing I've asked of Hashem, this is what I seek, that I should dwell in the house of Hashem all the days of my life, to behold the pleasantness of Hashem and frequent His sanctuary. Shine on me with the light of the supernal crown, and give me the power to order and settle my mind so as not to stray beyond the bounds of holiness. God forbid. Let my thoughts race out to apprehend the infinite light, running and returning, reaching yet not reaching, chasing yet holding back, on the strength of ordering and settling my mind with complete faith. Help my powers of thought ascend and merge with the 9 supernal palaces that are neither lights nor spirits or souls, which no one can stand in, and which cannot be grasped or known. Hashem, you alone know the bursting longing in my nefesh, my ruach, and my neshama at their supernal roots to attain such perceptions. This was the whole reason I was created. My soul thirsts for God, the living God. When will I come and see the face of God? How lovely are your dwelling places, God of hosts. My soul longs and pines for the courtyards of Hashem. My heart and flesh will sing out joyfully to the God of my life. Okay. This was stage 1. Stage 2, if you can please scan the QR code over here on the first page. In the middle of the text is a QR code. And if you can't do it, then just go to the link on the bottom or on the top of the page, prayer24.restsoftherapy.com. Okay? Before we go into what's in the QR code, I received from the breast of elders something which I never paid attention to, and only recently it's coming out. They said, the breast of elders, that in order to enter a lesson from Rabbi Nachman, you need to go over it 4 times. 4 times is the initiative to allow Rabbi Nachman to enter your mind, and vice versa. His name, Nachman, is very unique in that it's a composition of 2 smaller words. You have in Nachman, moach, which means the brain, the mind, and the nun. Nun, when you pronounce the letter nun, there's 2 nuns. That's why it's nun. But nun is numerically valued to 50, which refers to what's called the 50th level. 50th level, 50th gate, is considered in Jewish standards the maximum capacity that any Jew can reach in their life. His goal, Rabbi Nachman said, his mission is to connect the people, the Jewish people, back to their root, to the highest potential they can reach. That's his job, to open your mind to levels which are beyond your present grasp, but they are your potential. So his moach, nun. He brings your mind to nun. So the elders say, for this to begin to initiate, it takes 4 times learning one of his lessons, and then he allows you to open his mind. Because a tzaddik, when he writes teachings on a piece of paper, when you're reading the letter combinations, making up words and sentences and ideas, you're actually absorbing what's in his brain. His ideas are now on the paper. By learning them, you're learning the ideas of the tzaddik. This explains why it's so bad and dangerous to read books and novels by people who are just immoral and crazy and nuts, because you're basically letting them into your brain. You don't want that. It's very important that you read and absorb and digest teachings that are coming from people who have a lofty perspective of life to give it to you. This is Nachman. Now Rabbi Natan, the disciple of Rabbi Nachman, his yahrzeit is coming up in 2 weeks, B'ezrat Hashem. His name is a composition of 2 other words, Nun and the letter Tav. What in the world is the letter Tav? The letter Tav, Rabbi Nachman says in the first lesson of Likutey Moharan, appears in the book Yechezkel. In Yechezkel, there's a vision, a prophecy of angels coming down and marking etchings, chakika in Hebrew, on foreheads of certain individuals who have to be killed. So the angels coming, they're etching on certain individuals, and the verse reads, on the command of them to make a marking, it says, Vehitvita Tav, and make an etching. And for the word etching, it uses the letter Tav, Vehitvita Tav, spelled out, Tav, Vav, fine. But the letter Tav, Rabbi Nachman teaches, means chakika, to be engraved. Rabbi Natan, through his prayers, these awesome prayers, his job, his mission, is to engrave this light from the 50th level, 50th gate, into your heart. And that's done through prayer. Because the place of prayer is in the heart, and the place where you can get engraved is in the heart. The mind is to perceive, to understand. It's not engraving. What changes a person is what goes to the heart. So, Rabbi Nachman, he wrote teachings at a very lofty level, but so powerful that anyone, even non-Jews, they connect to it. They feel, wow, this is unbelievable. And then Rabbi Natan, to the prayers on the lesson, he completes it. We didn't mention this point, but there's only 2 books in all of Torah literature that have prayers written on them. Number 1 is the Chumash, okay? The 5 books of the Chumash have on them, the Gemara says, the 5 books of Tehillim, okay? Book 1 is on Bereshit. That means all of King David's supplications and prayers and praises are in book 1 to come to fulfill what's in book 1 of the Chumash. All his enemies, save me, this is from the enemies who don't let me to fulfill what's in book 1 of the Chumash. Book 2 of Tehillim is for Shmot. Book 3, book 4, Vaisra, okay? Shmot, Vaikra, Bamidbar, Dvarim. The other only book, you won't find this even by the Ramchal, the only other book that has prayers written on it is Rabbi Nachman's Likutey Moharan. You can check it out. You do research, ChatGPT, you'll see there's no other book in Torah literature that has prayers written on them except for Likutey Moharan, the Chumash and Likutey Moharan. Okay? The idea is, if now the reading that we did together that got to you, and the topic we spoke about tonight got to you, so consider seriously scanning the QR code here, and I have it set up already, the lesson and the prayer, both in Hebrew and in English, 4 times. Just as 4 times the rest of elders said, to read it, to learn a lesson, it takes 4 times for it to sink in and open you up. The prayer also on the lesson is 4 times. You say a prayer from Rabbi Yonatan 4 times, you go over it, the same prayer 4 times, it begins to open your heart now to the lesson. What do you expect? It's expected now that your view of what you're going through in life is no longer like in the gutter and down low and what's going on. You now are lifted from a higher perspective, and you're able in a better level to manage the challenges that you're going through. To remember, for example, to be happy. This is happening. You have many times in life that this phone call, this, and it's like one thing after the next, and it sucks you in to make you just feel miserable and traumatized, and then anxiety, and then leading to sadness and depression. When you have a higher perspective, you say, oh, I'm being tested here. No. I'm not getting into this until I'm in a good place. If it takes doing a jig, putting on some Mick Jagger, whatever, putting on some music, getting in a good mood, then I'll deal with the problem. You see in life, when you do this, when you know you're being tested, oh, I can't make this phone call now, I can't handle it. So you don't. Say, but you have to. But no, I have to be in a good place. And you try to be happy. It happens many times. You see this, that also you get a phone call, oh, we worked it out, we don't need it anymore, it's okay. It just worked out by itself, it's okay, okay? Things work out by itself. Why? Because when you do the right thing, which is to be happy, this activates the light of Chanukah, the infinite light, and that shines a calmness, a happiness, a serenity, that things work out. The reason why the test was happening was to push you to have simcha in order to build vessels while going through what you're going through. And once that's activated, then the light comes in. You have now vessels for the light to come in. That's the whole message of Chanukah B'ezrat Hashem. Okay? So homework is this QR. This can be done with any lesson of the Likutey Moharan. 4. So again, in this lesson 24, we organized already the lesson and the prayer. In English and Hebrew, you say the lesson, prayer, 4 times. That opens you up. Turn the page, please. The second QR code here is a tree link with everything you need to know on lesson 24. There's over 600 audio and video classes on lesson 24 Likutey Moharan. This has been so far a 4.5-year project on one lesson, opening up every stone, every verse that Rabbi Nachman quotes, every Gemara, every Zohar, going into it, also the language, okay? If you'd like to pursue lesson 24, you have this tree link over here with everything organized, buttons to YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, post insights in the parsha of the week, okay? The actual lessons, you want to see inside the lesson with the commentary and notes, so you have that there. Number 3, to support what we're doing, because this is a full-time job, you can imagine. It's not like overnight. We give 4 classes a week on this one lesson. Each class is about a week to prepare. Plus, our intent is to open a breast of therapy center in Yerushalayim. So when people come, they have a place where we can learn together, and preferably in English, to work together on this lesson, B'ezrat Hashem. And finally, I'm making myself available. That's the bottom here. You can PM me on WhatsApp. No phone calls. I have sometimes these ladies, they call me 45 minutes, I'm about to faint. You know, PM on WhatsApp. I listen to all messages. You need someone to talk to. You need someone to speak to. You want navigation, Rabbi Nachman's teachings. I'm here to help. So you have that number here in the bottom. What's on WhatsApp? Only WhatsApp, please. 732-800-1863. And again, the donate button is donate.bestoftherapy.com with the code. And lesson24.bestoftherapy.com. Thank you so much. We're giving out smiley stickers. You have the smiley stickers, please? This sticker we're giving out so you can have an initiative to be happy. Thank you for joining. Chanukah Sameach, and may it be good for all of us. And Rabbi Nachman help each of us, each of you, at least as much as he's helped me in my life. Thank you so much. Hammer time. Hammer time.
Does anybody want to dance?
Everybody dance.